Beware the fragile ego, the law of envy. We humans are naturally compelled to compare ourselves with one another. We are continually measuring people's status, the levels of respect and attention they receive, and noticing any differences between what we have and what they have. Hey there, fellow thinkers. Welcome back to our channel. For some of us, this need to compare serves as a spur to excel through our work. For others, it can turn into deep envy, feelings of inferiority and frustration that lead to covert attacks and sabotage. Nobody admits to acting out of envy. You must recognize the early warning signs, praise and bids for friendship that seem effusive and out of proportion, subtle digs at you under the guise of good-natured humor. Apparent uneasiness with your success. It is most likely to crop up among friends or your peers in the same profession. Learn to deflect envy by drawing attention away from yourself. Develop your sense of self-worth from internal standards and not incessant comparisons. In this chapter, Robert Greene explores envy and mentions it as one of the most poisonous human characteristics. To take envy next, we can see on what grounds, against what persons, and in what states of mind we feel it. Envy is pain at the sight of such good fortune as consists of the good things already mentioned. We feel it towards our equals, not with the idea of getting something for ourselves, but because the other people have it. Aristotle explains envy very simply. Envy being an emotion that we can feel when others get something in their lives that we may not have. It can be success, better job, better spouse, more money. People can also feel envious in general if they fall short of having everything they dream about. Now this can even be a good thing, as for a lot of successful people this type of envy has acted as a catalyst to work hard towards what they want to achieve. This type of envy is relatively easier to control and use for our benefit. The other, however, is extremely poisonous. For a person to confess that they have envy against someone is almost impossible. Confronting someone about them harboring envy can turn into an ugly situation, as these people act enraged, and it is not a surprise that there have been many criminal cases of violence committed by such people when confronted. This non-acceptance is because envy has been allotted the prestigious position within the 7 deadliest sins of mankind. As Nietzsche points out, just accepting the hatred and envy we might feel for someone is a great deed in itself. In order to overcome the negative effects of envy, we must accept it. Accepting that we can be envious of our friends or family at times is the first step of being able to use it to our advantage. Once we know that someone else's progress makes us envious, we can use it as fuel to push ourselves to do better. This turns the feeling of envy into a healthy competition against the people we feel envious about. We must learn to be okay with these emotions, and we need to realize that they are a part of human nature. This puts us in the right frame of mind to digest and being empathetic with someone's progress or problems. Robert Greene warns us of the poisonous envy that some people might harbor against us. An envious person is quite dangerous, and we should always be aware of such people. According to Arthur Schopenhauer, being washed with envy is an emotion for the lesser minds, for the dull, for people who do not understand themselves and human emotion. For the geniuses, listening to someone else's interesting experience feels like an adventure in itself. Schopenhauer also talks about recognizing the envious people around us by telling these suspected people good news or bad news about you on purpose. The people who harbor toxic envy are adept at disguising it. They have done it so often in their life that they can control their feelings and body language when given the positive or the negative news. Human beings can become masters at controlling our major bodily response to such bouts of envy publicly, however, as nature intended our species to survive even without the use of language. Micro-expressions are one thing that are almost impossible to hide. When you tell them a piece of good news about yourself, for a microsecond you might see a slight disgust or a negative reaction in their lips and their eyes before they put on the happy mask once again, and vice versa. Noticing the eyes is important. Robert Greene suggests we can get started with overcoming our envious nature by using self-assessments, journals, and noticing small things in our nature and the people around us. We can use this even for our kids. Get them to self-assess their work, rate it, and develop a habit of thinking about themselves under the light of the work they do, things they make, and problems they solve. Thank you for joining me today, and until next time, keep noticing small things in our nature, the people around us, and most importantly in yourself. We hope you found this video valuable. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content.